You guys remember the Tumblr blog that was all the rage last week and this week because, well, it was cited as potential evidence and then it suddenly got deleted. It suddenly vanished. The blog that was somewhat along the lines of Vic Mignogna Horror Stories. A lot of people have been making videos on this topic, myself included, taking a look at some of the archived links of the stories posted there, these accusations against Vic Mignogna. But remember what I just said, stories. Stories. That's actually a more accurate term. And I really gotta give a shout out to Cypherus, also known as the Anime Collector, for sending me two extremely valuable archived links. He did send a third for clarity, but the third one I was already familiar with. It's a very funny story. Don't think it's real. Who knows? I mean, it's most likely not real, but we'll take a look at the funny story at the end of this video, and we'll take a look at the two really important ones right now, where the user, well, just take a look yourself. Take a look at this archived link from the Tumblr blog of the Vic Mignogna Horror Stories. So first, take a look at this. Anonymous user asked, I looks like most of this blog is just he said, she said, but has there been concrete evidence of the things people say he did? I'm not really a fan, but a friend of mine is, and I'm having a hard time believing the things said about Vic, mostly because there are also quite a lot of people defending him, saying exactly the opposite of what the others are saying. So can you maybe link some evidence? Sorry for asking this, by the way. I just want to know a bit more if possible. And the owner replies at the bottom, take a look yourself. To be honest, 99.99% of messages are hearsay. This blog is more of a venting space. Oh my god. Oh my god. 99.99% of the messages here are hearsay. This blog is more of a venting space. What kind of sick, disgusting, whack job, weirdo, 2-bit stunted growth loser do you have to be to smear a man, defame a man, make up stories about a man that are not true, to vent? That's how these people vent? By making up defamatory statements, potentially ruining a man's life, and not just that, but ruining his goodwill? Vic is a guy. Vic is a man who cares so much about his fans. You can just see, you can just tell. You can tell. He cares deeply for his fans, and he goes out of his way to talk to his fans, to help them through hard times. There are videos of him going to a hospital. There's at least one video of this where he goes to a hospital and actually talks to one of his fans and goes to visit her. And there's countless other stories where he just interacts with fans and helps them through difficult times. So when you have BS like this online of people making defamatory statements against him, it's not only an attack on Vic Mignogna, it's also an attack on all the people that appreciate Vic and need Vic in their lives. Because let's say you're a sick person, like literally sick, like in the hospital sick, and who knows what your situation is. Maybe you don't have family, maybe you don't have friends, or maybe you do, but you still wanted to reach out to Vic anyways. Who knows? You would hit up Vic because you need someone to talk to. You need a positive energy, and you know Vic has always been this positive guy that you've looked up to. But then you hear countless stories like this just made up to defame him because these people want to vent. And then you start second guessing yourself. You're like, well, wait a second. If Vic really is all this and this and this, then what am I going to do? I don't want to reach out to him anymore. And then this person is just sitting there sick, depressed. And if they did reach out to Vic, maybe not, but maybe things would have been better. Maybe Vic would talk to them and maybe this person would emotionally feel better. And they might not take that action because of BS like this. And on the flip side for Vic obviously likes doing that stuff too. So if people believe this nonsense and stop going to Vic for advice, for help, to just talk, that also negatively affects Vic too, because he's the kind of man, at least it seems like he is, that really appreciates that and enjoys talking to his fans, getting to know them, getting to help people out. So It's horrible for both sides when you have nonsense like this, and this is not even the last one. We have another example to take a look at too. Okay, before I show you the other screenshot though, take a look at the date up here, February 9th, 2015. Now take a look at the second screenshot I want to show you guys, or archive link rather, November 18th, 2013. And that is important. So take a look at the message now. It reads, layout change. Admin here. I changed the layout so my little disclaimer is clearly displayed. This blog is merely to collect stories, whether true or not. And we will be backtracking and talking about that, you better believe it, about voice actors, mainly one Vic Mignogna. I don't personally care for him and find stories about him really, really funny. Oh my God, this person's disgusting. So yeah, sorry if you get offended, but it's a dang blog run by one person who has other things going on too. Then maybe you shouldn't have started a blog literally created to defame somebody, dude. How are you? Dude, some people, I'm already getting worked up and I wanted to at least get through this before we backtrack to the whether or not true thing. I'm sorry. But it's a dang blog run by one person who has other things going on too. I won't remove posts unless I deem it necessary, not aimed at anyone in particular, just an FYI to everyone. Okay, deep breath, deep breath. This is disgusting behavior, reprehensible people doing stuff like this. Let's start with the first point. The first point's the dates. That's why I wanted you to remember the dates. So this layout change occurred on November 18th, 2013. Apparently it didn't do a good job if 2 years later you still had people, questioning if this was real or not. So clearly the disclaimer was not changed in a proper manner, despite what the owner, the admin, is saying here. And we can even see that if we go to that's actually a different story I want to show you guys. If we go to the home page, it shows the same thing. The disclaimer's right here. Share your stories of the most infamous voice actor, Vic Mignogna, and hey, send your other VA stories as well. Any opinions expressed on this blog are not those of the admin. Submissions will remain unedited unless requested. Nowhere does it say anything like these stories may not be true, or this is hearsay, or these are fan fiction. It doesn't say anything like that. So the admin is totally BSing it here. Says that they changed it to make it more clear. Maybe they did change it, they probably did, but they certainly didn't do a good job of making it more clear. Now, let's move on to the whether true or not part. Again, absolutely disgusting that you would make a blog to allow people to post defamatory stories and statements about somebody who, well, I'm not even going to go there. It's just disgusting, man. It's just disgusting. It really is. And that's really that. Let's take a look at this next story, I guess. Oh, so this story, this is a bit more lighthearted. This, I'm like 99.99% sure this is not true. This is a really weird fan fiction. We read this one time on a live stream I was hosting. And, well, you might remember this one, but if not, you're in for a treat. Get ready. Let's get started. It reads, from Anonymous. I remember at an Acon convention several years ago, I was really tired, but we didn't have a room, so I crawled under this table to go to sleep. From what I heard later, Vic came out of this room with a gaggle of fangirls and sits at the very same table to start signing autographs and schmoozing. When he stuck his feet under the table, he kicked me hard in the side and woke me up. Already, what is this guy doing sleeping under a table, dude? I guess he realized someone was under there, but when I tried to crawl out, he casually stuck his hand under the table, and in motions that to this day confound me at their clarity in sign, he told me to lay back down and continue my nap. Apparently just with his hand signs, right? What did he do, like this kind of thing? I have no idea. Oh my goodness. Something in my mind told me I should listen to this friendly stranger, and to my surprise, he removed his boots and began to give me a back massage to rival all back massages with his very skilled feet. I slept for God knows how long, and I woke up feeling more rested and alive than ever before. When it was all over, I dropped a $5 in his boot, and he disappeared into the crowd. I'll never forget his kindness. There's no possible way that this is likely to be true. I mean, come on. Everything about that story, everything about it, from the person deciding to sleep under a table to Vic like randomly leaving a room with all these fangirls, and the fangirls somehow just, randomly disperse. Vic sits at this table, does all that stuff. This person takes a long nap. Vic is apparently still there. drops a $5 bill in his boots. At least we can laugh at this story. At least it's not saying that Vic is a predator or anything like that, like these other weirdos do. At least this one's a little bit funny. Also very weird, but a little bit funny. Okay, now this is awkward. At the end of my videos, I always give shout outs for the last video, the people who promoted it over on Twitter, since it helps me out, and I like to give the shout outs to show my appreciation. But here's the thing. I already recorded another video to be released in the morning. It's not anime related. It's a weird story, kind of like the one from this morning with the Japanese yandere IRL woman. Kind of like that. So, spoiler alert. It's gonna be a weird one. I hope you tune into it though. I hope you enjoy it. But the point is, I already gave my shout outs in that video for the Jamie Markey video, the one before this. So I don't really have shout outs in this one. So I'll just, I guess I'll just give shout outs for the previous video again. Shouts out to Random Fandom, Elliot Bechtel, and Paragon Lanes of Amped Guard for helping to promote the How Did Jamie Markey Think This Would Be a Good Idea video. Thank you guys. And honestly, when I gave the shout outs, already in the other video, because that was more recent than this one. At that time, it was only Elliot Bechtel, if I recall, who promoted it. So thank you, Random Fandom and Paragon, for also helping out there, and for anyone in the future. And on that note, if you enjoyed this content and want to help this channel out, consider donating if you can through a one-time link. We have options for PayPal and Streamlabs, both in the description, or sponsoring monthly on Patreon. Of course, that's not mandatory by any means, only if you can. And there are other ways to help, like subscribing if you enjoyed this. If you're subscribed, turn the notification bell on as well. Hit the thumbs up button and comment down below. Let me know what you thought of the story. All that interaction does tell YouTube that the video is interesting and good, and YouTube promotes it. So all that stuff helps, guys. All that stuff helps. It's much appreciated. And if you'd like to talk with me or the community more directly in real time, consider joining the Discord server. Link below for that as well. And I'll see you in the next one.